Okay, so brace yourselves for perhaps the oddest phenomenon as of yet. And by the way, I actually think that this phenomenon is going to increase in the coming years because there are so many people who are struggling with this and they don't want to admit it. And what they're doing really reflects my argument and my opinion on this matter. And it really shows that these people are deep down they're cowards. Here's what I'm talking about. So there are some women out there. I don't know if there are men. Maybe there are men, but I think for the most part these are women who are these loneliness influencers. Imagine being a loneliness influencer. These are women who romanticize a life without a partner, without settling down, without any boundaries, without having any friends, without quote unquote having to rely on others. Now, I can understand that that makes one's life easier in the moment, because especially during this day and age where literally everything you have is right at your finger at your fingers. All you have to do is tap a few virtual buttons on your phone and you can order food, equipment, clothes, basically everything you need. You don't need to talk to people anymore. And see, that's a big trap. Because and let's assume that these women are right. I don't want any friends, I don't want a partner, I don't want to rely on no man, all men are pigs, all men are horrible, etc., etc. Let's assume that's true. And let's assume that that's the life that they really want. Well, I have a question to ask them, especially these loneliness influencers. Because if that is so, if that is indeed true, then why do you have the need to post your videos on TikTok and other social media? Well, it is to gain likes and followers and comments, because you are reliant on, here's what you are reliant on: human touch and human contact. See, if you didn't really like other people, why don't you just go to the SHU, the special housing unit? Solitary confinement in prison, where you can't talk to other people. I haven't been there myself, but well, I hope I never go there, obviously. They're telling me that after a couple of weeks, most of these wannabe tough guys, they just break down. And imagine being there for months, for years. Your head is completely messed up. And so, you know who these people, excuse me, who these women will turn into? Because they're so big a coward that they can't go out there and talk to people. These women will turn into the modern day suffragettes. The extreme feminists who hated men and who even conducted acts of terror, actually. Not saying that all women hate men. I'm not saying that all suffragettes either commit acts of terror. I'm just saying that some of them did. And I'm certainly saying that this way of living a life is very unhealthy, because you actually need human connection. You just need to apply persuasion the proper way. And that means mostly, if not all of the time, to kill your ego, to squash your ego, and to actually listen more than you talk. And to some of these women, this is difficult. And again, back in the old days, you didn't have any chance. Living in the old days must have been horrible for people who were introverts, who weren't social, who didn't like to go out and meet other people. Sure, I understand, I get it. Hell is other people, as Nietzsche, I think, said. Now, be that as it may, hell is other bad people, in my opinion. That's certainly true. Because yes, there are a lot of shitty people out there, but not all people are shitty. And living without other people, that's just you being a coward who's afraid of using persuasion to build proper relationships and to cultivate and to maintain them over time. Yes, that takes commitment. It takes effort. It may damage you. It may scar you. And at times you may end up regretting it. But trust me, isolating yourself and being a so-called loneliness influencer, and even worse, posting about it on TikTok as some sort of a, I don't know, a badge of honor, it's just wrong, and you're going to regret it a long time. So if there is anything to take away from this with respect to persuasion, it is the obvious. Any persuasion you make is a sale, irrespective of you selling a product or a service or a relationship. They're all the same. Think about that. No business can survive in loneliness, and it is my opinion that no human really can survive in loneliness. If you want to learn more about sales, persuasion, and business, get subscribed to my email list. The link to do so is in the episode description wherever you're watching and or listening to this, and I'll see you there.